guys, it's your girl T, and I hope everybody's doing good today. I just want to wish everybody a happy new year. I took a break yesterday because can I get a break, honey? Can I get a day off? Okay. So anyways, it's now January 2nd, honey, and a bunch of fuckery done went down in the new year. A bunch of mess done already went down, and we're only 2 days, not 1 but 2 days into the new year, okay? So anyways, what went down, like I told y'all this morning, is that, yesterday I took the day off. I didn't check any emails, didn't go on Twitter, Instagram, none of that stuff. So this morning I got up and I started checking my emails like I usually do. And I saw an email from Umar Johnson's peoples, some lady named Gisetta. She sent me an email basically requesting that I take down my Umar Johnson video. You guys all know I did the video on YouTube called Twitter Goes Crazy after Dr. Umar Johnson's video goes viral. So he had this woman email me, and I could have respected her email had she just emailed me as another black person, okay? But instead, one thing I've always noticed about these pro-blacks, they claim to hate white folks and the white man is the devil. And even in that video where Umar Johnson was ranting, he kept screaming out, "Cracker, you look like a damn cracker." They hate white folks, but yet and still, if you look at the email that this woman sent me, she also CC'd YouTube. So instead of you contacting me directly and only me and giving me a chance to see what I can do, you made sure to dry snitch to YouTube. She also wrote in there copyright at YouTube to let them know that she wants this video taken off my channel, which I don't fool with the white man, right? The white man is a devil, right? But you had no problem tagging the so-called devil in your email to me. And then another thing I noticed is that after she wrote, sincerely, she also had the nerve to have a little quotation at the end talking about karma moves in 2 directions. If we act virtuously, the seed we plant will result in happiness. If we act non-virtuously, suffering will result. And then she wrote the author's name. You didn't need to write that down to me, honey. I know all about karma. That's why I treat people the way I want to be treated. The person who needs to hear that karma rhetoric is your homeboy, Umar Johnson, okay? So I just want to really talk about this entire situation. I had to keep it all the way real in this video now. I just don't care. I know a lot of his fans will feel some type of way. I don't care. I've never cared what people I don't know personally think about me. That's not why I'm here. That's not why I do YouTube. Let me go ahead and start by saying this. If you guys have not watched Umar Johnson's so-called apology video, you guys can look it up. It's on YouTube. I'll put the link down below. It's a 45-minute apology, but it's not really an apology. He only apologizes within maybe the first 2 to 3 minutes of the video. The rest of the video, it's him basically wagging his finger at black people, the black media. It was nothing but a bunch of deflection, excuses. His ego was so disgusting in that so-called apology video, y'all. I couldn't even take it. I could barely stomach watching the first 10 minutes, let alone sitting through the whole 45-minute rant. This second video, his so-called apology video, was just as disgusting as the first video where he went in on SETI, okay? So I'm going to just go ahead and break some things down to y'all. One thing I learned when I lived in the South, one of the sayings that we always said down South is that a hit dog will holler, okay? Now, when SETI came at Umar, he wasn't the most respectful, but we all know what got Umar Johnson mad. What made him mad is that SETI wanted a tribunal done on Umar about the money for the school. And, he was also saying things about Umar getting with these kids as parents and stuff like that. And that's what really sent him over the moon. A real scholar, a real person who's about the people would have just ignored that and just said, that simple rhetoric, this dude is an idiot. I'm going to keep on moving because it's supposedly about the people. But not Umar Johnson. He decided to put on that damn pom-pom hat and go in like a WWF wrestler, like a rapper, like a straight up hood booger on the street, as opposed to the doctor that he's been carrying himself to be, okay? Now, you notice a lot of folks never went in on SETI. Nobody really chastised SETI. A few people said a few things, but nobody really went in on SETI because that's SETI's personality. SETI has always been confrontational. SETI will always pop off. SETI's always cursing. So that's just who SETI is. Nobody cared. Umar Johnson is the one who put himself on this pedestal, who wants people to call him Big Papa, and who crowned himself the Prince of Pan-Africanism. He put himself on a pedestal like he's some type of, conscious community celebrity. So now he cannot complain about how he's being seen. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't say that, white folks ain't shit and cracker, but then you email me CCing the so-called white man in the email. Another thing that bothered me in his apology is that he did a lot of blaming towards the youth. He was kind of, saying that the youth were doing too much and he expected better, and he was upset because people made memes about him because there were all these memes being posted about Dr. Umar. And when I made my video, I didn't put no memes in there. Usually I put memes in there. I just left it to the comments because people were genuinely hurt by what they saw. And that's all I put in the video. I didn't put no memes, but I will be putting some damn memes in this video, okay? So he was upset about that. Now, I do recall in that rant that he said to Seti, he said, I'm the Sean Carter of this shit. I'm the Christopher Wallace, aka Big Papa of this shit, okay? So he likened himself to a celebrity. But let me tell you something, Mr. Umar. Jay-Z is a big celebrity. There are more memes of Jay-Z, Beyonce, and their daughter, Blue Ivy, than anybody out here. And you don't see them crying, going off, feeling no type of way. Why? Because they're doing them and they're getting their damn money, okay? For you to cry and get upset because people made a joke of you and turned you into a meme, to me is silly. You took no personal responsibility in that apology. You know what I'm saying? You quickly apologize, try to basically diminish your role in it, and then put all of the blame on the people. And then he had the nerve in the apology to say that his fans and his supporters should have been there to have his back, that he should have never had to respond in the manner in which he did if his fans would have had his back. First of all, you're a grown man. Nobody told you to pop off on Seti. Nobody told you to get gangster on this man because he said some stuff that you didn't like. If you wanted to respond, you could have responded in a clear and articulate way. You chose not to. You chose to go the North Philly hood booger route as opposed to the Temple University route, okay? You decided to get down low and roll around in the gutter as opposed to acting in the manner of which everybody's used to seeing you act in, okay? What you did was unbecoming of yourself, and you need to take personal responsibility for that and stop trying to put it on the people. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell the folks to stand in the front lines and protect you from people's opinions online. You can't expect people to go online and go fight for you. That's nobody's job. You got to fight for yourself. You know how many times a day I get attacked by random people, racist people, black people, females, males. We get attacked all the time here on YouTube. And yeah, it's nice if somebody sees a comment, they have my back and they check the person who's talking reckless. But I don't expect people to do that. I handle my own shit. You know what I'm saying? If I want to address somebody, I'm going to address them myself. I don't need a whole bunch of people backing me up. For him to get mad about folks re-uploading the video and sharing the video, to me is very, very comical. And for him to get mad at the so-called black media, there's no black media, boo. It's just a bunch of folks on YouTube. Nothing more, nothing less. And all the so-called black websites like The Root and those websites that you were going off about, they're not even owned by black people. The Root and all those websites are owned by white folks, okay? So the thing is this, people are going to have their opinions of you, good or bad. And I've said this before. I have seen people make videos of me calling me a whore, a bitch, a fraud, talking all types of shit about me on YouTube. And guess what? Those videos are still up, even though I have every right to flag them down, get them for defamation and everything else. I don't do that. Why? Because I know who I am. You will never get me to respond to a hater. You will never get me to acknowledge these videos as far as, oh, well, somebody made a video talking about me, so we're going to address that. I don't do that because, like I've said before in the past, you cannot get on social media, okay? Let me repeat myself for the 50th time. You cannot do commentary and have opinions about everyone and everything and then get in your feelings when somebody has an opinion of you. It does not work that way. Okay, if you're going to be a leader, if you're going to be somebody who's opinionated, because Umar Johnson talks about every dang on thing, from children to, how women should behave in relationships, how men should behave in relationships, how people should act when it comes to regarding sex and their bodies. Then he also talks about celebrities and what they should be doing and not be doing. So it's funny that Umar Johnson can have an opinion about everything under the sun. But when people have an opinion of him and his work and they do commentary on him, all of a sudden the black media ain't shit, black folks ain't shit, black folks are horrible, how dare you guys talk about me. So it's funny that he can have an opinion, but unless you're praising him, he don't want to hear nobody else's opinion. You're not allowed to disagree. You're not allowed to call him out. You're not allowed to even ask questions. You're not even allowed to question him, even if it's in the most genuine way possible. Like, man, this is not true. I just wasn't feeling this. You're so much better than this. There are a lot of people who really gave genuine commentary. I gave genuine commentary. There was a lot of people who were just really shocked and appalled. Everybody wasn't just tearing him down. Most people were just in shock by his behavior, but he's taking this as everybody's just hating on him and everybody's using him to eat. Sir, we gonna eat regardless. If I never did that Umar Johnson video a few days ago, guess what? I was still gonna get a check from YouTube, okay? So you're not stopping anybody online from eating or not eating. Maybe the people who freeboot your work from Facebook and freeboot it onto YouTube, yes, you might be able to stop them and what they're doing. I don't agree with that, because at the end of the day, what Umar needs to learn is that the difference between what me and a lot of people did was fair use. It was transformative. We took bits and clips of your rant. We did not use your entire rant in our videos. We took bits and snippets of your rant and we posted it along with our commentary. It was transformative. So you really have no case here, okay? But the people who took your entire rant and didn't provide any type of commentary, didn't change it, didn't make it transformative, then you have a case with them, because all they're doing is freebooting your stuff. What I did was commentaries. What I'm saying? Your email was not needed at all. What it is that you're now embarrassed. You finally woke up. You thought that, once you show people that gangster side of you, you thought folks would give you props the same way they do rappers. Because when rappers go off on social media, everybody runs to see and they're like, ooh, look what Soulja Boy did. He done pulled out that purple gun on Lil Yachty. He done pulled out that gun on Quavo. People go to cheer that on because that's what they expect from these low vibrational ass rappers. But when it came to you acting in that manner, people were disgusted because that's not how you carried yourself. That's not what people were expecting. I'm telling y'all, I had people giving this man props and was like, you know what, Umar, you are so gangster. That's what's up. Oh my God. Yup, that's If people had given him props, he wouldn't have apologized. He wouldn't be trying to take down this video. He'd be relishing in it. But because it backfired in his face and people are now questioning him and people are like, you know what? I'm done with Umar. I'm not supporting his cause. I'm not supporting this school. I'm not supporting this foolishness, because if he can act like that, that's not a role model that I want my son to emulate. So once he got that rude awakening that people were not okay with his video, now he's trying to deflect. Now he's trying to blame the people. Now he's trying to shift the blame, as opposed to just taking personal responsibility that, you know what, y'all, I messed up. You know what I'm saying? I had no business getting on camera in that manner. I should have calmed down. I should have let cooler heads prevail. I take 100% responsibility. He didn't do that. All he did was shift the blame and blame everybody else. Just think about it like this. We talk about a lot of people online, okay? We do videos about all types of celebrities who go viral. And Umar Johnson, like it or not, you have put yourself in the level of a celebrity. You said it yourself. You're the Sean Carter of this shit. You're the, Christopher Wallace of this shit.
So good, baby.
So you put yourself in the position where you matched yourself up with celebrities, okay? No black people coined you the prince of anything. You coined yourself the prince of Pan-Africanism. You put yourself at the level of a celebrity, which Boyce Watkins talked about last year, okay? So now with that being said, your ego has become bigger than your message, and now you're embarrassed. And that's all it boils down to. He's embarrassed. His ego is so out of control that he cannot even take a bite of humble pie and apologize in a sincere manner. Now, you guys, I remember just a few months ago, Lil Wayne went viral for acting like a straight up coon on television. And y'all know I hate using that word, but there was no other way to describe what he did in that news interview. When he claimed to be a gang member, he didn't give a F about Black Lives Matter. And before then, he was on the Skip Bayless show talking about, he's never felt racism. He doesn't, he's never been affected by racism. Lil Wayne had been doing a lot of stupid stuff lately. Now imagine if Lil Wayne got on camera and instead of apologizing for their behavior, they went off on social media for sharing their video and making their video go viral. Y'all would not excuse that. Y'all would be like, if you don't sit your ass down, you chose to go on that woman's show, you chose to clown and put yourself out there like you were a gangbanger. It's the same exact thing. Umar Johnson did the same exact thing. He put his foot in his mouth, and now he doesn't want to take that L. And sadly, you still have a lot of his so-called fans making excuses for him. You have his fans out here in the comment section. This is a comment that I saw today on one of my videos, and this person has written the same comment on other people's videos as well. This man is literally going around writing that Umar Johnson was right and that he believes that light-skinned brothers need to be confronted to make them wake up and realize that they're nothing special. You see what this man has caused? You know, when you have people saying that it was okay for him to go in on Seti's skin tone and Seti's height because light-skinned men need to be brought down a notch, I can tell you anything that the person who wrote that is dark-skinned and they have low self-esteem. Seti can no more help his skin color any more than Umar Johnson can help his skin color. And I said this time and time again. I never understood the whole light skin, dark skin thing. It's so stupid. It's something that's beyond our control. We have no way to control what color we're born. I cannot control my brown skin any more than my child can control his light skin. You know, so I was very offended by that. Both of my boys are light skinned. My mother is light skinned. So to hear him going in on light skinned people like that and calling them albino, and people can make excuses and say, well, he's just talking about Seti. No, he's talking about all light skinned people. That's really how he feels. But he's just using Seti as a way to verbalize that. But that's how he feels. So maybe when he was younger, he had an inferiority complex with his complexion because maybe all the girls in his neighborhood wanted the light skinned guy. And all this came out as some shit he was suppressing. Because I find it funny that this is the same man who will sit there and say that, you know, biracial people are black. If you have one drop of black in you, you're black. And y'all know me on my channel. I don't claim biracial people as black. I feel like if you're biracial, that's just what you are. You're biracial. And it's not my job to put anybody in a single box. If a biracial person wants to claim that they're full black, they have all rights to do that. But if a biracial person does not want to claim that they're full black, you cannot force them to be black when they have a white parent or a Mexican parent or, you know, or whatever, you know, parent that's not black. So this is the same man that for years has preached that biracial people are our black brothers and sisters and we need to embrace them. But then the first chance he got, he went in on a full black man's skin color. That makes no sense to me. So which one is it? Are we going to embrace these biracial people who have white in them, who have the so-called white cracker blood in them, but then turn around and clown our own black people who are full black, but because they're light skinned, they're not worthy? So y'all can say, well, he was only talking about Seti. No, a lot of light-skinned people were very, very offended by what he said. And a lot of people were very, very hurt by what he said. And there was even an albino man who made a video and he was very, very hurt because he was a proud Umar Johnson supporter. And I'm glad he spoke out because people forget that albino people are not some mythical creatures. These are real, living, breathing human beings with feelings and emotions. So I'm glad he spoke out for the albino community, and I'm glad he spoke out and said, you know what? No, this is hurtful. Like, that's not okay. Like, this is something I can't help. And said he's not even that light. So it's like you're clowning him and he's not even that light. How you think I'm going to take it and I can't even produce any melanin? You know, so I just find the whole situation just really, really just insane. You know, so the whole situation to me is a mess. Like I said, all I saw with that apology was nothing but ego. In my personal opinion, Umar needs to take personal responsibility for his actions. Him blaming the media for doing what the hell the media does is foolish and it makes no sense. Him blaming black folks and people on social media for doing what the hell they do is foolish and it makes no sense. Everybody ends up being the butt of the joke at one point in time. All these celebrities who done made mistakes, who done got drug up and down social media. Little mama gets a drug every other damn month. You know, if you want to put yourself out there like a celebrity as opposed to being a scholar, as opposed to being somebody who's low key in the community, you want to say that you're the number one this, the number one that, then you have to be prepared for people to think otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not going to think that you're the best. Everybody don't think I'm the best YouTuber. You think I give a shit? No, I'm going to keep doing me. I'm not about to sit here and be addressing haters and bringing attention to people who don't even have 100 subscribers. Why would I do that? That's silly. You know, so I just think that his video was just very, very insincere. It was a slap in the face. And then the part where and then one more thing, he also addressed the phone situation. And that to me was even more comical because, again, he tries to come off like people are stupid. He got mad because people have been clowning him and making memes about the whole phone situation. He claimed that people are dumb. And if you were smart, you would know that obviously, you know, the call dropped and another call came right in. No, bruh. You were just as shocked that that damn phone rung as we were. okay? And the only reason why that part was left in the video is because it was live streamed, so you couldn't edit it out. I believe what happened is this. When the phone was ringing, he went to stop the phone, and then when it started ringing again, he felt like, you know what, I'm about to really show up. Now I'm about to really show out. And he picked up the phone trying to sound gangster, like, yeah, I got this. Huh? What happened? Let me call you back. You know, so when it rung in his ear, he had no choice but to, play it off. We're not dumb. We're all adults here. So for him to try to act like, where the call dropped and the call came through, no, you picked up the call trying to make it seem like one of your goons were on the phone and the phone rang in your face. Just take the L. Just apologize. Take the L and keep it moving. All this condescendingness, all this talking down to people and wagging your finger at people like you're so up here and everybody else is beneath you, to me is just damn ridiculous, okay? Him not taking responsibility for the colorism, for the albino comments, for him making fun of short men. He didn't take responsibility for none of that stuff. All he did was blame everybody else for his issues. The whole situation is just really, really sad. And for him to sit here and now try and email people to demand that they take down these videos, it doesn't matter, Umar, if you take down every video on YouTube, sir. That doesn't matter. People have seen your true colors. People see how you get down. And that video, the way you spoke, the way that you went off on SETI in that manner, that's forever ingrained in everybody's mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure people are still going to rock with you. It's not like he's going to lose his entire fan base because people are such sheeps. They're still going to rock with you. But in the back of their mind, they're going to know, like, can I really take him seriously? Because if I disagree with anything, if I ask him about something, he's going to go from 0 to North Philly in 5.2 seconds. So again, he can try and remove every video off of YouTube. It's not going to help. This video that you chose to do, that you chose to put out there, that you chose to leave on Facebook for 10 so hours before you chose to delete it, you put your foot in your mouth. You embarrassed yourself. And instead of taking personal responsibility, you want to shift the blame. And that says more about you and your character than anything. So with that being said, I decided to be the bigger person. I could be Team Petty all day, leave the video up because I have every right to use the video because, like I said, fair use. And I literally could keep the video up standing as it is until YouTube contacts me and says something. But I'm not going to do that because I don't want nobody coming at me and saying, you know what, sister, you're wrong. This man asked for you to remove that clip of his video of him wilding out. You're just being petty. This is not good for the movement. I don't care about y'all's movement. I'm not a part of y'all's conscious community. Like I told you, I do me over here on my little channel here on YouTube. I don't fool with none of these people out here because all I see is nothing but drama and hypocrisy. But I'm going to be a bigger person and I'm going to humble myself and re-edit the video. I'm showing you guys clips right now. I went into the back end of my YouTube page and I went in and I took out that part of Dr. Umar's rant, cursing, belittling SETI and acting a fool. I took that whole clip out of him cursing and acting unbecoming of himself because he's so embarrassed that he's sending people emails to remove it. I chose to be the bigger person. I took it out right now. It clearly says the edit is in progress. I just did this. So once you guys see that video, you guys will see that Dr. Umar's clip of him ranting is removed. But again, like I said, it doesn't matter how many emails he sends out. It doesn't matter how many people he asks to take the video down. This is what I want people to remember. You would think that as adults we would know this. This is what people get on children about. And for him to be a psychologist and not think if I post something online, once it's online, it's there forever. There is no delete. There is no removal. Even if he gets rid of every single video on YouTube, this video of him ranting like a madman is all over social media, and certain websites will give you a big F you and keep him moving. They're not going to pull down the video no matter how hard he tries. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. Now, let me also reiterate this. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I just came here to tell my truth as I saw it because I felt like, you know what, too many people give people in positions a pass. Just because somebody has a title of pastor or doctor or minister, folks give people passes, but then when a regular person messes up, makes a mistake, they get drugged to hell. People don't want to forgive them. People be so quick to go in on regular people when regular folks make mistakes, but then as soon as someone that y'all hold on a pedestal and on a high standard makes a mistake, all of a sudden it's, well, it's okay, it's all right, he didn't mean it. So like I said, I'm going to be the bigger person and take his clip out of my video. The video is not coming down. All I did was re-edit it and remove the part that he requested to be removed, which I'm going to do because I'm not going to be as petty as Dr. Umar. I don't, want the headache. I'm just going to go ahead and humble myself and remove it. Point blank, period. So anyways, y'all, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire situation concerning Dr. Umar, his apology, and him sending out emails trying to get YouTubers to remove his video. Do you feel like he can remove this video? And do you feel like even if he does remove every single video of him ranting online, do you feel like right now he's kind of just ruined his image? So even if the videos are removed, people still know how he gets down. And then how do you feel about his apology video? Do you feel like it's sincere, or do you feel like it's just a bunch of crap? Go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. And once again, Happy New Year to everybody out there. All right, deuces. Hey you guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.